pretty much a good way. I feel like we talked a lot of Andre Iguodala. Probably good ways that need to transition into Warriors Kings. Um, got the dub. Not sure how hopeful I'm still feeling. If they show out like they did tonight in Game 4, you start feeling a little better. Winning 4 and 5 is always going to be tough, but they showed out. They did the thing. Really from I want to say from top to bottom, but I don't really think anybody had a great game outside of Steph. If you probably or Steph and Looney, if you look too close at it, actually. But I think everybody did like playoff basketball enough that a transcend that very like I mean transcendent because Steph's always transcendent, but a Steph Curry performance, playoff performance, and a kind of transcendent Looney performance can carry you to the dub to a pretty easy win.
Double digit win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How are y'all feeling
Yeah.
after the first one? After first game in Chase Center, I was about to say Oracle.
I expected, yeah, I expected to win. It's just now is I don't know. It was a Steph night. It also just makes me think what is. I'm just scared for next game now because I don't know what
Yeah.
it looks like with Draymond coming back. It's like I don't know. Watching this today, it just felt so much less stressful. I don't know if it's because we were at home or if it
Mm-hmm.
was Draymond wasn't out there. I feel like Steph just got to control the game more, which was I don't know. Like, what did they do? What did they do different on defense? Because like I feel like Steph had more freedom today. I feel like last game they were like sending just a double, just two, three guys at him. But I don't know. Today just felt smooth sailing pretty much, and I don't know how much that was
Oh, I
because
see what you're saying.
Draymond
I
was
thought you were talking about the Warriors defense. You're talking about the Kings defense against the
yeah, the
Warriors.
Kings defense. Yeah,
Got you.
like what
Yeah.
did they like? Why would
No,
yeah? I
I
feel like
think it's
Steph was able to do more
yeah.
today.
Me and Dan touched. I think me and Dan talked about this a little bit, but I feel like I don't know if I heard somebody on the broadcast or somewhere or somebody tweeted it, but just it's the four. It's like you got. It's gonna be if you don't have Looney and Draymond both out there, you're probably
Yeah,
at this point in the playoffs gonna have four guys that are confident shooting. Like even like
yeah,
Kaminga's gonna take that corner three and actually isn't bad at it at this point. Like type thing. It's like it's gonna be four dudes that you have to respect from three, and that's where you kind of feel like the thing they haven't been able to take advantage of. Everybody's kind of like you got to attack the rim. They're not a good paint defense team. Kind of ignoring the fact that again it's Draymond and Looney. And again, they're amazing. It works amazing, really well. They're a great defense, and a lot of times it works well on offense, but it's harder to get shots around the rim. So I think that's what opened it up. I think that's the part me and Dan were talking about. I don't know like this year, the pool party, whatever, the Steph pool, any combination of Steph Poole and Clay hasn't really worked this year, and this seemed like the first time it did. And I think it was surprising that it was Wiggins and Looney because I feel like that's probably the version we've seen the least of that
yeah.
lineup. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It'll be like you said. It'll be interesting to see what this means for Game 4, actually. But my bad. Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah. So I they felt bad about jumping in and out of the season, not watching as much. Like, am I a real fan? Anything? It all comes back down to the same thing. Warriors, same old Warriors, man. Dribble penetration. They said we was last in the league in turnovers this year.
Like you have the most turnovers.
Yeah, per
Yeah,
game. I don't know
definitely.
if that was
Oh
a
yeah,
road
no,
stat or that
hundred
was just
percent.
old. That was
They
overall.
no,
Hundred
definitely
percent.
one
Yeah,
hundred
yeah,
percent. They were. Jordan Poole
yeah,
led
yeah.
the league in turnovers.
No,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah, yeah. I was saying this team still. I feel like I still see this team as this. Yeah, we're just I guess the same kind of flaws, and just this team is very reliant on Draymond Green playmaking tips on the night to night basis. And interesting to see. Even this year was interesting to see when they play without him, but or even play without Steph. Just I guess the playmakers that they're used to having, realizing things changing have to be different. But yeah, being able to get penetration, being able to get paint touches, being able to get the ball, get the ball to the basket. This team is interested. I guess it's yeah, I'm saying, like, I guess it's kind of why they've been so doing damn by Poole probably all season
Mm-hmm.
is because he does. That's what he gives you. Like if Jordan Poole is good, he'll give you a lot of paint touches. Like he's gonna give you a lot of dribble penetration, which will lead to good high percentage look for him at the rim or looks for other people if he's making the right decision and having a decent day controlling the ball. Uh, but outside of that, it's like what I think the Warriors have always, as a matter even at their best, I have always I suffered from is that in just the way the system works is Stephen Curry is the only the one consistently penetrating or having to find penetration, find the penetration.
Hmm.
Everyone else, it's about finding out. I feel like the role. We're a passing team. We're a great passing team. Is what we're based on. You got to be a good passer and figuring out how to make the right reads, the right passes, the right cuts, and how to score off the right, how to score off the cuts, how to make the right read, how to make the right pass. And it's not there's I don't think there's any really room. And they don't really even haven't had to. I don't think it's even a focus of development, especially with what they do with the small forward position. If you look at Harrison, KD, and Wiggins, you're not uh until you get to Jordan Poole, I don't think they've ever had to try to create this new slot of we need you to create things off the dribble. We need you to create things off the dribble. It's always been even Sean, I would throw into the KD Wiggins tier of like the kind of looks they're getting when they go 1-on-1. It's not we're just kind of break pausing the offense. Like we're pausing it so that they can go down low, and we're really good at split cuts, back cuts, everything like that. So we can have an option off of it, stuff like that. But Pool is the first time that we're seeing them have to figure out like how do we only Curry's ever been in this position where we've been looking to a guy to do this. Like only person that Curry in this system have looked to not be, or look to be more than just a player who plays who can help them with all the off ball things that they do on offense. That's what they rely on. Oh yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
it's like,
interesting.
yeah, no, it does really all fall. It's funny how much of the ball penetration really just comes down to Poole, Curry, and Wiggins. I feel like from what you were
Wiggins is
saying,
so. I mean, Wiggins is nice, and I go underrate probably how good Wiggins is at probably finding when Wiggins is on. He's really good at finding the penetration within the offense, within the system.
yeah,
But I think like even like all three of these first three games have kind of shown the difference in this year and last year in terms of talent. I mean, it's like yeah, it's just harder. Like I don't know, like it's just there's not a lot of talent here, not a lot of depth or talent here. And yeah, it seems when you're playing Draymond and Looney together, you don't have probably the big miss of Otto Porter. Otto Porter, yeah, feels like a really big. Not having Otto Porter feels really big. Even last season when we had Otto Porter versus when we had an Otto Porter who was making shots versus when we didn't have Otto Porter or didn't have Otto Porter making shots. Like the difference in how easy things get is like huge. Like it just like it goes from like oh we're pretty good to like oh no like nobody can really keep up with us. So still feeling probably feeling the difference of the talent level of this too. Yeah. Rainbow.
no,
Like I lost track. We were talking about the game actually. It was like,
yeah,
oh,
no,
they
for real.
played pretty well.
Yeah, no,
But
I was gonna just run it down a
Looney,
little.
Looney. I feel like that's the thing is like where this goes. Looney, like how does Loon having a big game with the assist, playing the Draymond role, and
Hmm.
giving us a lot of giving us the playmaking and passing that this offense needs from the big man spot. But also we had more spaces to get penetration. So it looks a good night. Good night.
Yeah, no, Looney. I think that's a good point to hit. I think we were talking about the space and that why it looked different, but I think probably why it even could look as good as it did, right, is that you have the spacing, but Looney's capable of doing a version of like he's not capable of being Draymond like on offense, like as a passer in any way, shape, or form. But he knows the actions. He can set screens, and like he shows tonight, he can hit the spots. He can hit guys in the spots when you get to play four out in space, not four out. When you get to run kind of the Warrior system where you have four offensive threats, four shooting threats on the court, actually. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Next game's gonna. I think that's a hard part not to look ahead because I think
Six man,
this game.
number 23.
I think kind of
Six
Jordan.
man.
I think Jordan hit on it. And like probably first thing you really said coming into the game is just you saw something click on offense. I think for them, and it doesn't even mean that Draymond's not a part of it, but it's just that thing that they learn kind of on and off in series. Some series are different. It's like you got to split them. They're not gonna. It's not. It's maybe not. Maybe you can't take advantage of this team the way you want to if you're playing both of them. Maybe Sabonis's job is a little too easy, like on defense, if you got both of them out there, or the more you have both of them out there. So it's gonna be
You,
interesting to see
you can
going
take more
forward.
advantage of him. Yeah,
Yeah,
take
exactly.
more advantage of him.
Well, I mean,
One out
they
there.
didn't really do much at all in the first two games, like as far as attacking the rim goes.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. No. But without yeah, those first two games were tough, man. That still leaving me very discouraged about this team just because just look at it, look at it. They're not a good road team. And yeah, that's what they look like. Look, yeah, they weren't getting any penetration like at all in Sacramento. It's very, very, very discouraging. Very.
Any Moody thoughts? Moody has some moments. Moody came in and played some decent minutes in the spots he needed another body with Draymond being out, and he played well.
Should be playing more.
Yeah,
Should have
that's
been
why.
playing
Yeah.
more. Just I was about to say that's the other one who had a decent game out of everybody. Just from the jump too. I don't know. It's crazy how he's still able to respond with Kerr throwing him into the fire like that. Just
Every time. I feel like he gets minutes every time on some random stuff, and it's like, damn. And well, it's not every time. But he had a probably decent, kind of rough start to the season. So I don't know how to contextualize
that's
any
the
of
thing.
that.
Why would
But
we play
people
Anthony
were
Lamb
so
so
bad
much if this is what he's gonna do? Like if you're gonna end up making
not
Moody
playing him
the
at all. This is the first minute he got
Big
his game.
block.
Moody got in last game
Massive
too, right?
man. Say it again. Yeah, Moody's. This is
Moody
like
got in last
Moody might have played all three. Honestly, definitely the
game
last
three,
two.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's had good moments. Yeah.
We come back to, I guess, if this team has any chance of this series, and I think Ogler and I think Moody and Kaminga have to Moody Kaminga and full, like obviously, but Moody and Kaminga too, especially going forward, like in the second round, third round. Like we're gonna need just games from them. We're gonna need moments, games and moments from them.
Yep. I think
We'll
Poole's
see if we
hurt.
get a Moody's the one where it just didn't get the runtime, but he's like, yeah. I've always been high on Moses. I don't,
Yeah. I feel like
interesting,
Kerr probably thinks
very
it's all
interesting
going
player.
according to plan. It's building up just like it's supposed to. Cause
Oh, he
yeah,
could be the next Looney. I mean, with Kerr, it's like, all right, dude.
yeah.
I get it.
Feels like it
He's
should be.
28. He's gonna be the perfect Golden State Warrior. Like it's all right.
Yeah.
Like I get, he could be ready 2 years earlier, but whatever.
No, that's what I was
Whatever.
gonna. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like in Kerr's head, it's all going according to plan. But it's like, bro, like we all said it. This isn't Spurs. Like as much as the Warriors wanted to be new Spurs, this season was not a San Antonio Spurs like basketball season. You're not good enough
Not
to
even close.
like you're not good enough to have not Patty Mills. Who was the one? Was it Gary Neal? Somebody, whoever. They had a good player that was just kind of. They let just Corey Joseph. That's who it was. Corey Joseph just got to spend like half a season in the G League, where it's like they could afford that. They're a 50-win team. I don't know. Oh yeah, kind of to your guys' point. Like if Ty Jerome's not gonna make the roster, playoff roster, and the guy you pick over him, Anthony Lamb, isn't really going to get minutes, what was the point of playing both those guys over him as much as you did? And it's like partially like I'm in the thick of it. I get it. You're trying to win games, and you feel like this is how you win games. But it's also, I don't know. It feels like I think the part that no, never mind. I was gonna say I was gonna throw a player that's not on the team under the bus. That's not. We don't need to blame him for
Hey,
this.
dude.
We don't need to blame him for this. Nah, it's okay. We don't even need to go
It
there.
ain't his fault. You don't gotta blame J-Dub. You blame white man, Joe Lakers. Joe Lakers out here for doing an F- job, and everybody else picking up the slack.
Yeah, that's a point.
Joe Lakers' input is negative, negatory. Joe Lakers has been a negative to this team for over 700 days now, or for about 700 days now, since 2020. So that's about 700 days. That's at least seven. That's almost 3 years. Maybe 1,000. I'm close to 1,000 days. Joe Lakers has been a negative, and it's probably the fallout of removing long fallout. I didn't think Jerry West maybe should stay. Long fallout stuff. Just the voices changing, egos building. Everybody should be finding more respect. I was hating on Steve Kerr for a long time, but I feel like it seems like I would hope Lakers finds more reverence for Kerr and Curry, but it seems he's finding more reverence. I don't know if that should happen at all. Didn't do
I feel it. Uh, let's have
it.
Moody.
2020, he decided to be in the draft process.
Wait, say that part one more time.
He got said since 2020, he's been very opinionated about who should play, and about well, if you bring up life like that. Then Lakers had a lot more opinions about. I've never seen him have opinions about players playing on the things that happen on the basketball court past, like you know, keeping it cordial and trusting Kerr and trusting what Kerr and Myers do, kind of. So, like he's more confident. I don't know where that comes from.
Winning makes things easy, man. When you're winning every year, your boss can't get that can't justify tinkering if you keep winning.
Yeah. His opponents, his peers are very unintelligent groups. Like, he probably feels very confident and cocky about where he's at compared to the other 29 NBA owners.
They're
Pretty
also
low.
they're also
Pretty
all
low.
cheap as hell,
Yeah,
which
the bar is
sucks.
hell. The bar is in hell.
Mhm. Any other thoughts
Yeah,
from
so
this one? Trying to see Wiggins. Wiggins did his
I'm scared. I
thing.
was saying scared of this team, the lack of depth on this. Kind of scared of the lack of depth on this team just going forward. Hope they can believe in that Curry can pull this series out. But,
Speaking of that, do y'all
oof,
see
yeah,
Jermichael
in this
Green
row
getting
win,
into it
gonna be hard.
Yeah,
with Kenny
I was
Atkinson?
trying to figure out.
With
I
Kenny,
forgot he was on our team for a second until he came in today. But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I feel
Wasn't
like
doing much.
yeah, I wonder if it's that. I wonder if it was like, bro, these may be the only 10 like whatever like how much do you play today? Yeah, 10. The only 10 minutes I played these I'm gonna play in these playoffs just happened, and I feel like y'all are gonna blame this like the bad minutes. Like I don't know. You just tell you about to get pulled out. You know you're not going back in. Then somebody want to tell you what you could have done better right in that moment. You ain't trying to hear that shit. I don't know. It's a tough spot to be
well, I
in.
think long season thing. It's like he's had. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, he's had like struggled. He struggled all season. He struggled with the injury, struggled with the jump shot, struggled to get minutes or get consistent minutes. So definitely see the pressure kind of building on both sides. So like I can't imagine what the film room actually is like with them trying to break down or probably help. Like what's the film room like with Michael Green and the assistant coaches all season? Because it's like for him it hasn't. They probably just coaches wanted more out of him. Probably needed probably understanding the injury side of it, but yeah, it seems like that moment was just it was weird in the sense of like I wonder how ugly or how awkward maybe this has gotten, when
Hmm.
they're just so strapped for the front court's so thin. It's just we have such a thin front court. It's crazy. Yeah, he's so much so you forget that he's even there. Like I guess that's why it is.
You
It's
know
just,
what? You know what helps with thin front court? Splitting up Draymond and Kevon Looney.
yeah,
Might be the
Yep.
uh,
move.
they can play a lot of power forwards rest of the series.
We have enough to
Play
do
playing some
enough from
four.
a first
Do
point. At
you?
least throw Kaminga out there.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I was
I ain't
saying. So if that's a good way, so that's I'll ask y'all if if they do split them up. It's kind of a twofold question. Do you take Draymond out the starting lineup, which I don't think you're allowed to do, but would you do it? And or would you take Looney out? And if so, who are you putting in? Are you leaving Poole in? Or are you going with Kuminga instead? Because I don't think I like Poole as the starter in that lineup if Draymond or Looney's coming off the bench in a weird way. I feel like I'm gonna pull off the bench in that scenario.
yeah.
But
I'll probably actually we're going that way. I'll probably start Draymond
mm-hmm,
just because what's it called? Alex Lynn's gonna come in at some point, but
yeah,
just Looney out there just for that because I feel like they've already been struggling with rebounds in general. But
yeah.
that'll
No,
probably be like
that's a good point.
the the only reason I would say Looney off the bench. But
Mm-hmm.
even I don't know.
I'll take that. Yeah, Looney off the bench. You keep Poole, or you go with Kaminga or Dante or.
Person, me, I would take Kaminga, at least
Yeah,
Kaminga, but yeah, cool. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's hurt or what or his
yeah. It seems
ankle.
like somebody.
It's,
I feel like somebody who's been at the game is saying it doesn't look like he can get separation. He said even his jump shot looks weird. And
yeah,
then was there somebody posted the first 3 quarters he had like 17 points on like 6 of 8 or something like that, and he's just been asked like ever since, like essentially when the ankle shit happened, and it's just I think he might just be hurt, which sucks, but yeah, that's why I mean even more reason why I feel like I feel like I like Kaminga in that spot. No one Kerr, I could see him trying some weird. It'd be funny if he tried the weird shit and actually tried Moody just after a few good games.
yeah,
Because Dante hasn't.
It
Dante's
will
been
work too.
struggling. That's the other weird
yeah.
one.
Dante,
Dante's been
yeah, that's the thing.
struggling. Just
That's because Dante is one punch above where he's supposed. Dante's perfect for this team. It's just we ask a lot of him. It's just like
yeah.
why are we asking so much of Dante? Like, we got to the end of the season. I mean, we get to the end of the season. I just be thinking when I watch, like, why are we asking so much of Dante doing team? It's awesome when he gets the offensive rebounds, when he do what he do, and like when he gets hot from three. I feel like God, like we really just rely on this guy like a lot,
Yeah.
like consistently. Like I feel comfortable with him having the ball in his hands. Then
Hmm.
some, when Bulls start struggling, it's like but you realize kind of how a
Yeah,
lack of depth on this team.
and I'll give him credit.
Man, we just need to come back.
We're saying he's struggling. It really is just the shot. The shot just hasn't been there. He may have not been as effective the last two games as he was tonight, but tonight he did. He had 8 assists, 7
Yeah, I was saying he was
rebounds. He's doing his
solid
thing.
tonight.
Yeah, he just jumper hasn't been there. Really, offense in general hasn't been there. It's just been weird because this Kings team is not great on defense. It feels like everybody but Steph and at stretches, Wiggins and Clay have really struggled to find offense. It's a surprising thing.
Where are they actually at though defensively? They're one of the better road defenses in the league.
The Kings, I would
Yeah.
assume you can't really win on the road without that. So, do both of y'all turn your cameras off, or is this okay? Cool.
No.
Okay. But yeah, actually, that'll be worth checking to see where they actually were. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, wait, I have a spreadsheet with that. I'll find it. Give me a second. Any other thoughts on the game?
Looney's a warrior for life. Steph Curry's a warrior for life. Everybody else better get their shit together and prove that that you belong here.
Actually, I was just about to say, I feel like we didn't even get good shot, or at least the first. I feel like the first quarter, first half, our shot selection
At some point in the second quarter,
wasn't really
somebody
great.
tweeted they had taken 21 threes already. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the first. Yeah, that was the first quarter was when I was probably most discouraged. I was nervous to see how this game was going to go. But I was just, yeah, it was one of those kind of like, why are we asking Dante to do so much? We're not getting any dribble penetration. It felt like we weren't getting any dribble penetration. And we were settling for outside shots, but it also felt like there was nothing we could do to get inside shots. It was like, this is a team that is, heavily reliant on passing and turns the ball over a lot. Gotta knock down their threes in order to get anything inside, get the pace going, get the get the backdoor cuts, get the I think the game just opens up, the offense opens up, and you get better looks inside the 3 point line when you're hitting threes. But boy, that's the way it started. It didn't start the way it started. It didn't feel like it was gonna go well, or it didn't feel like a great offensive game unless Steph was gonna turn it up. He got a good thing. Did he get 40?
36. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the interesting part just long term. It just seemed like Steph's really going to have to be that guy which he didn't have to be that guy for all 4 rounds. I mean, he kind of was, but he didn't have to start like the first 3 games of the series in Denver. He's going to have to be that guy this entire time.
We had the
And he
team
got
last
it
year.
in him.
We had the team.
But it's a